Hello there, my name is Jedidiah Micah M. Larios, representing this presentation for the ITec 11 Living in IT Era. For this topic, we're going to discuss why is phosphorus important. Phosphorus plays a critical role in a cell development and is a key component of molecules that store energy, such as ATP, DNA, and lipids. And then phosphorus is also a chemical element found on Earth in numerous compound forms, such as the phosphate ion, located in water, soil, and sediments. Where does phosphorus comes from? As in our definition in our presentation, it comes from rocks. Also, rocks are solid lumps of minerals. So when rocks crumble and erode, phosphorus is released from the rocks. So the weather causes rocks to crumble, like wind, cold, and rain causes the dust-sized fragments of rocks to chip off, thus releasing phosphorus into the ground. There are interesting facts that is present in the phosphorus. Here are the bullets that briefly give us the facts what are phosphorus. So first is phosphorus cycle is not found in the atmosphere. And also, second, phosphorus come from rocks, which we previously discussed. Phosphorus directly or is received by animals by eating plants or indirectly by eating plant-eating animals, like the carnivores eating the herbivorous animals. Phosphorus can most likely be found underground in soil and rocks, and humans contain 80% of phosphorus in teeth and bones. Four key steps in phosphorus cycle we have weathering, absorption, decomposition, and sediments. Here is the phosphorus cycle where we can thoroughly see where we will see the phosphorus, where it comes from, and then the processes involving the environment. First is weathering. The weather causes phosphorus to be released from rocks. So we have here a picture of a clouds and it's raining and the rocks present on the ground are releasing phosphorus because of the heavy rains and a lot of environmental factors. And then we have also the next is absorption. When absorption happens, the soil plants, fungi, and microorganisms are able to absorb phosphorus and grow. So after the weathering, phosphorus are now released in the environment, in the water, in the soil, and the plants can now absorb those phosphorus materials and also the animals on the ground. We have the producer and consumer. In the food chain, we always have the food producer and consumer. Here are the list and the description of how an animal or plant absorb a phosphorus in the environment. Next is decomposition. In decomposition, plants and animals die. Everyone die, everything decomposed. So this type of factor can also contribute for phosphorus um, that are released in the environment. And lastly, the sediments. So, in definition, sediments dissolve phosphate precipitate out of solution and contribute to the ocean sediments. Conversion of sediments into phosphate rock is a very slow process. And after all this process, we will go back to the first process, which is the weathering. So here, as we can see on the top of the mountain, there is a weathering there going down to the water and in the rocks, and there's a release of phosphorus, and then um, it is released also in sediments, or the sediments are also a contributor factor for the phosphorus. And then also through time, this phosphorus cycle just rotates, just go around in a circle. So the human factors sadly are disrupting the phosphorus cycles, like farmers. You know, excessive amount of phosphorus can also be lethal. The human factor, extra phosphorus got washed away and is collecting in this pond. See the green small dots? Those are examples of phosphorus. Since the phosphorus is a fertilizer, it causes algae in the pond, which we can see in our rivers today. The presence of the green algae and other algae. So, in this extreme algae growths, we call them algal blooms. As the algae eventually die, the decaying process uses up all the energy, all the negative effects can happen. In this next slide, we can see here the fish are dying. Also, there is a notice of algal bloom or algae bloom, which is really unsafe. If it's, too much is also unsafe. Too much is not good. Should be always optimum amount. So for conclusion, we have here it is indispensable to life, being intimately involved in energy transfer in the passage of genetic information in the DNA of all cells. As much as what I've said kanina, too much of anything is bad. So in simple ways, phosphorus are always present everywhere in the ground, outside of our house, and the things that we do on the plants that we take. Also, the people like me who also eats, um, who are who loves to eat vegetables, they also contain phosphorus. So for this presentation, that's all, and I hope you had some learnings. Thank you.